Welcome everyone who is joining us for today's National Transition conversation. We will get started here in just a minute. My name is Katie Frederick, and I'm a digital content manager here at the APH ConnectCenter. Good to see people filling in. As we get started, I'm going to pause the recording so that we can get a few housekeeping rules out of the way. All right. All right, Richard, I'm going to hand it off to you to kick us off.
All right, just 1 second. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good morning. Richard Rather here, digital content manager with the ConnectCenter and CareerConnect. It's great to see so many of you out there in the audience. A lot of Californians there. Thank you guys for joining us. We're going to have a really impactful, fun, and informative 2 hours. I'll give you an update on how we're going to run the National Transition Conversation. That's what we're calling this. We try to do these quarterly and focus on things that are important to the field of transition, and CareerConnect and the ConnectCenter are proud to be sponsoring that. So welcome to all of you. We will be doing some networking in the chat box, and in hour 2 we'll be hearing from a lot of you. In the next 30 minutes I'm going to be giving you an update on CareerConnect and all the cool things that has been happening with CareerConnect over the past year. And then my colleague Lisa Maria Martinez is going to be talking to you about our awesome APH ConnectCenter Transition Hub, or better known as the Transition Hub. And then we have 3 featured presenters with us. We have the LEAP Connect program, Ford of 24 transition application, and the college success program from Envision. They're each going to give about 10 to 12-minute presentations, and all of them have been a part of the ConnectCenter presentations in the past, and we're pleased to have them back for some updates and some networking. At hour 2, we're going to open it up the forum to each of you in the field to give maybe 2 to 3 minutes updates on what's going on in your neck of the woods. What programs are you hosting this summer? Are they summer camps? Are they transition programs? Are they overnight? Are they not residential? Whatever the case might be, share that with us, and we'll ideally get you unmuted so you can have your 2 minutes of fame. So get ready for that in hour 2. Do know that this is being recorded and it will be archived, and it'll be available hopefully within 2 weeks. If you do have any questions now, please put them in the chat. Katie or I will get to them, likely Katie while I'm talking, and then we'll put some pertinent information in the chat box. I just want to do a quick check. Katie, did Elia come in?
No, I've not seen her.
Okay. Elia Londa Vallard, our director of the ConnectCenter, sends her greetings. She was going to try to make it, but as it goes, often she'll get into meetings. So I'll send you welcome from the ConnectCenter. For those of you new to the National Transition Conversation, we are a part of the bigger picture, which is known as the APH ConnectCenter. The APH ConnectCenter consists of many things, including our information and referral line, our INR toll-free number, which you can call or email, and you have access to 2 wonderful human beings, including Alan Laval and Sharon, who are experts in all things INR and the blindness community from coast to coast. You can count on them 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. Did I get that right? Yeah, or yes, Eastern, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific, and they're answering that toll-free number, fielding your questions on anything related to the blindness and low vision community, and we get them all, and we're pleased to have that. That number again is 800-232-5463. Alternatively, you can email them at connectcenter@aph.org. And we also have Family Connect, Vision Aware, and CareerConnect, which are the websites that we boast with the ConnectCenter that provide information for job seekers, families, and adults adjusting to their vision loss. And we have great programs, webinars, and blogs, articles, peer articles, and lots of really cool stuff there. We also have our directory of services, which you can find on the APH ConnectCenter homepage, which used to be this big, thick phone book listing of all programs and services available to the blind and low vision community that we house that used to be a part of AFB. In fact, all of the ConnectCenter programs were a part of AFB until 4 years ago, and then we inherited them. So we're doing great things with them, and we are proud of the legacy that the ConnectCenter sites have. So I wanted to give you that brief update. I'm going to talk to you as soon as I get to my notes here about CareerConnect. As you know, CareerConnect is a lifelong resource that's been around close to 30 years. It started out as kind of an exchange for job seekers to find adults who were blind, who were working out there to connect with, to find out how they do their jobs, to network, to become a mentor. And since that 30 years ago, CareerConnect has evolved into so many more things, and we're right now at the cusp of doing some cool things. What you will find at CareerConnect, if you go to CareerConnect, you can find that we have our Job Seekers Toolkit. That is a really very, very cool document. It's in a PDF format right now, and it's for the job seeker, young or old, and everyone else in the middle, people who are starting out their career or people who are going to change their career and haven't, let's say, interviewed or have been a part of an employment connection in quite a while. So you can find at the Job Seekers Toolkit everything you need to know on how to search for a job, how to build your resume, how to build a cover letter, how to advance your career, how to disclose your disability. And there's modules there that you can take that will get you ready for the job search. Again, that's up on PDF in our CareerConnect site. And soon we are working with some folks to get it into a learning management system that you will be able to access at your leisure in different modules. And we're really proud of that. So we're getting very close to that. Hopefully in the next couple of months, I'll be able to come back to you and demonstrate to you how that's going to look. Beyond the Job Seekers Toolkit, we have our blogs, and our blogs are important because they really give perspective for the job seeker, for the person in the rehabilitation program, the transition age youth, the adult job seeker, the supporter helping someone getting a job. We have stories of blind folks, folks who are low vision, who are employed in all categories, and people who are veterans, people who are doctors and lawyers, musicians, fitness coaches. They're all up there under our success stories. Like the Job Seekers Toolkit, CareerConnect is going under a change. And in the next couple of months, you're going to see some new changes to the site, and we'll have it a little more streamlined. And again, it's a legacy site. So we have lots of good information on there that we're going to rearrange the content, and you're going to find it even more usable and user-friendly. Some of the things we're also doing to CareerConnect is including some video content that's going to allow you to be more interactive with our content. And so we're looking forward to doing that as well. One of the more recent things we have done with CareerConnect is our, I almost forgot the name, Career Conversations, which we launched in January. Now, what Career Conversations is, it's a forum for job seekers and for people who are interested to talk to adults who are blind and low vision who are working. We've had the head of accessibility for Instagram. We've had a financial manager who works for Morgan Stanley. We have had an accessibility evangelist who works for the University of California, Berkeley. We've had a blind attorney, and we've had a licensed psychologist. All of them were blind, and they have come on to Career Conversations to be interviewed by Katie and myself for at most 15 minutes. But the remainder of those career conversation sessions are for the job seeker, are for those wishing to network and learn about how these people got their jobs, what impressed them, what empowered them, what motivated them, what were some of the failures they have overcome along the way. And we find that to be a powerful forum. And as Katie will tell you, our last conversation with Heidi Joshi, our licensed psychologist, could have went easily 2 hours, and we got a lot of good feedback. We've got a voice actor, Sotana Howry, who will be with us in June. And then we have other people down the line who work for Amazon. We're trying to get people from all walks of life. If you know somebody out there that we should be interviewing through Career Conversations, let me know, and we'll get them interviewed. Again, it's a powerful tool to highlight these successes and these career stories. We are proud to say that these are archived. You can go to our YouTube page, and if Katie can put that in the webinar and the chat box, you can find all our career conversations plus many other webinars that the Connect Center does. I can talk all day about Career Connect. It's my passion. When I was a rehabilitation counselor 20 some years ago, I learned about Career Connect when it was with AFB, and I thought, wow, how cool is this? And I even signed up to become a mentor. I've kept track of it over the years with Joe Strecce and others, even Shannon Carolla, who've been editing and writing blogs for it. And it's to their passion and dedication that Career Connect is where it's at today. So we're, again, proud to carry on the legacy. About a year and a half ago, when I came on to the Connect
Richard,
Center.
are you there?
Yep. Hello. Katie, can you hear me?
I hear you, Richard, if that matters.
Okay, good. I was like, maybe I was fading out.
No.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Shannon. All right, so maybe Katie, Frederick, we're losing. Okay, maybe she had. Okay, all right. Let me just make sure. Katie Frederick, are you there? She may have had connectivity issues, but I thought it was me. So let me, Lisa Maria, are you ready? I'm going to introduce you in just a second.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So sorry, my
everyone. I'm back. I don't know.
I thought it was me. No worries.
I thought it was you too, but
okay.
Apologies. I think we're all good. Hopefully.
I'll get back on track. So about a year and a half ago, when I joined the Connect Center, we were in the middle of a grant that we were fulfilling from the Thank Give Me Family Foundation, and that it was to build a database of transition programs from coast to coast, including Hawaii, Alaska, and everywhere in between. And so that is known as the APH Connect Center Transition Hub. And that's your go-to source for all things transition. And over time, we're hoping to put some of the content on Career Connect and duplicate that over on the Transition Hub as well. To give you a better perspective of what the Transition Hub is, what it does, and how it can help you and your programs, I introduced you to you a good friend and a colleague, Lisa Maria Martinez, who I have known for over 20 years. And she started with us back in January, and she's also blind, and she has a lot of experience in community services and in the field. So Lisa Maria, welcome, and thank you for sharing with us about the Transition Hub.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited to be here and a part of today's conversation. Like Richard said, we have known each other for a really long time, and we've worked together on and off at several agencies for the blind. And we meet again here at APH and with the Connect Center. So I have been working with Richard since January and the rest of the Connect Center team, primarily working on the APH Connect Center Transition Hub project. So as Richard already said, we had a grant to create this amazing tool and resource for transition-aged youth and anyone who might be associated with them. And today I just wanted to give you a little quick demo on how easy peasy lemon squeezy it is to use. But before I do that, just to back up half a step and tell you a little bit about who I am. I am blind myself, and I have had various jobs throughout my long career in the job market. I have worked at several blindness agencies in different capacities as a Braille instructor, as a living skills instructor. I went on and got my master's degree at Louisiana Tech in educational psychology with an emphasis in orientation and mobility. And that's just a really fancy way of saying that I went on to get my National Orientation and Mobility certification. And I taught O&M for several years. And then eventually I hooked up with the San Francisco Lighthouse for the Blind, and I worked in their adaptation store. I went on and worked in development and marketing for 5 years. And then I went on to be director of community services, which used to be Richard's job. And then I left the blindness world, and, or I should say blindness community, and went on to be a life coach. And so I run my own business. And on top of that, I work at APH doing really cool stuff, keeping, abreast of all the cool things happening in the blind community. And I really love, working with youth in particular, and getting people employed is near and dear to my heart as well. So that is me. And right now I am screen sharing the Transition Hub web page. And unfortunately, I cannot get my audio to work so that those who might rely on screen readers like myself could hear exactly what I am doing. I hear what I'm doing, but I can't make it work for everyone to hear. So I'll voice what I'm doing. But let me tell you, what is the Transition Hub? It's a database. I really feel that it's a one-stop shop for transition-aged youth. And like I said, anyone associated with them, parents, teachers, blindness professionals. It's a great place to come and start getting familiar with resources that are out there for employment and how to be job ready. But it also is a place to come and search for what is out there. What can I take advantage of as, a blind 16-year-old high school kid who wants to be job ready? So the Transition Hub allows you to go and search what is out there. So let's say you are a high school kid in New York and you're considering, let's say, going to school or maybe making a living out in, I don't know, California, and you want to see what kind of programs are out there, and maybe see if there's a summer program that you can go to so that you could see what is California like, what are the programs like. So right now, and I will share this direct link in the chat if Katie or Richard doesn't get to it before I do. So right now, I'm going to be that high school student from New York or wherever, looking at programs in California. And so the very first pop-up field you get, or combo box, is state. So you could search by state. So I'm going to California, checking California, although it doesn't seem to be selecting right now. There we go. California is now selected. And then it's the select season. So you can get all seasons, a fall only program, a part of a year, spring, summer, winter, year round. I'm going to choose summer because remember, I'm from New York, and I got to go to school in New York, but my summers are free. So I've selected summer, and I'm going to leave the other combo boxes the way they are because I'm 16 and I don't understand all of these things like cost type, language. So you can filter by languages other than English. And now I'm just going to hit search. So the very first thing that pops up for me is Camp GDB. And I know Guide Dogs for the Blind is on here because I looked at the attendee list. So it gives the address and it gives a link to have more information about Guide Dogs for the Blind. And you could click on the link and see what they offer blind youth. And because I'm familiar with Guide Dogs for the Blind, I know they offer some really cool programs, and they are constantly imagining and creating new cool things for blind youth. So this is, at the moment, the only program that is popping up for just the summer. And this is a really good example of why, if you are in the Transition Hub already, and if you're not, start off on the right foot. Update your programs as soon as you know that you have a really cool program coming up. And I personally know that at least in Northern California, in the San Francisco Bay Area, I know there are some really cool summer programs happening. It's really important to get your programs updated. So, if there is some 16-year-old from New York, I don't know why I'm harping on 16 in New York today, but I am. If they do a search, you can, you can be on this list. And I can see that the Vista Center or Lighthouse for the Blind or Guide Dogs or whatever other agencies are doing summer programs, they're all listed. So if I backed out of this page, I can just hit year round. You can, sorry, there's chats going on and my screen is talking in my ear. But you can back out of here and like reset the parameters and get a fuller picture of what California might have to offer year round or during other parts of the year. So this is a really easy tool to use. And let's say you are a teacher of blind students, you can ask your students, hey, I want you to go to the Transition Hub and find 3 programs that sound interesting to you that we can, work together to learn more about and see if they're an appropriate fit. So as a teacher, you can assign this. As a parent, you could check out what's available. As a youth, you can empower yourself to learn more about what's out there, and then advocate to mom and dad and your teachers that you're ready to take a trip out of state. So it's really easy to use. Yeah. So that's it in a nutshell. And Richard has already put in the chat the link to the Transition Hub. If you are not in the database, please contact me.
Yes.
My information already is in the chat, and we'll work together to make sure that you are in the Transition Hub, because we really want to be the one place that people could come to find all the really cool stuff happening for transition aged youth.
And thank you, Lisa Maria. I will say a couple of things. If you go on Google transition services, you're going to get some pages that are really old and outdated from 10 years ago that won't take you anything. And so make sure you go to the Transition Hub site. Katie, what was the question in the chat? I missed it. How will you? Hey, a Wayfinder in Hatland is in the hub.
Sorry.
And then the other thing, while you're looking for that, as Lisa Maria often says when she gives talks about this, is you can give your student the phone or the tablet, pull up the Transition Hub and just take a minute or two. And it's that easy. It's all in one page. You can navigate around. You don't have to have 16 browsers open. It's all there. We've currently have somewhere close to 50 programs. We really did a lot of research last March. About every 3 or 4 months, we're beginning to send out an automated email to folks so that they who have existing registrations to update their program parameters. If you went from, let's say you were virtual hybrid last summer, but you're going completely in person this summer, you want to update that to reflect what's going on. So we are keeping those up to date.
Yes, we have a couple questions here. One is asking, is the hub only available for youth? What about for adults that are looking for a work experience?
Often the focus of this grant was to focus on transition programs, pre-employment transition skills. You'll find in some circumstances that some of these programs do speak to adults. Like you'll see the Louisiana Center for the Blind listed there, and obviously they serve all ages, but they also list their summer programs and specific to that. So it's a good starting place for the younger crowd, and almost every single state out there has a residential program for adults to learn work experience and to have some kind of a foundation to start. I don't know if you want to speak to that, Lisa Maria, but we haven't focused on that as much as we have on the transition piece right now. What was the other question, Katie?
Yes, there's one about how is the hub updated? What is the best way to?
Yeah, and I'll expand upon that, and thank you. Again, we realize that often transitions persons move around, and sometimes like the O&M instructor is a transition specialist. It depends on the size of your program. Smaller agencies, one person has 6 different roles, and then often those change. So we're constantly sending out updates to our existing members to update their information, to update their contact persons. And we're doing a lot of press on this and doing a lot of presentations on this elsewhere. So we're getting the word out, and we're sending out, or we'll be sending out automated emails to make sure people are updating their programs. And then we have the human factor. We have Lisa Maria, who's out there cold calling you going, hey, Jane and Marin at Guide Dogs, make sure your stuff's up to date. She does it a little more polite than I suggest, but I see Jane's in the audience, and I've known Jane for a while, so I can pick on Jane. But likely, we want to reach out to you and make sure these programs are relevant, they're up to date, and they're speaking to our current audience, because we want to make sure the information is up to date. And was there any other questions, Katie?
There's one more about some specific programs. So asking if Wayfinder and Hatland.
Oh, I did hear that.
Are in
yes.
the hubs. So
I believe Wayfinder and Hatland is. I know we reached out to Julie and her folks in LA, so it should be up there. But you can go there while you're on the call and let us know. But yeah, so yep. So I sent the link in the. I heard that question. I sent the link in the chat. So that's where how you want to update it, and you can reach out to Lisa Marie and I. If you have other questions, I can field them at top of the hour. I do want to go into our next presenters, and I invite all of you who've just joined the National Transition Conversation to know that at top of the next hour, we're going to open it up to you to give your program updates, ideally 2 to 3 minutes. It depends on our audience size, but it's an opportunity for you to network and share what's going on in your state, in your region, in your town for transition programs this summer and through the next 6 months. So get ready for that. I wanted to mention 2 things about CareerConnect that I didn't mention earlier, and then I'll get to our presentations. 2 things that we've done since I've come on with CareerConnect is we have advisory members. We have professionals, those of you who, many of you who are out there in the audience, like Sylvia and Amy and others who are on our advisory panel for CareerConnect, and you are the professionals. You're helping us come up with ideas and content to speak to the job seeker, to the young adult, to the transition age youth, to the rehabilitation counselor. So we really are working with our advisors to develop meaningful, timely content that's relevant for today's job seekers and transition age youth. And likewise, about a month ago in early April, we initiated a student advisory body. And right now we have 11 students from 14 to 24 who are in high school and who are in college. And I got to tell you, I'm super impressed. These guys hit the ground running. They're writing blogs. They're motivated. They're empowered. They're ambitious. And you're going to see some really good peer perspective blogs and even some webinars on preparing for college from their voices, from these actual students who are going to college, who can share with you what it takes to be successful in college. So there's a lot on that front as well on the CareerConnect space. Lisa Marie, are you still with us? If not, I want to thank you for your presentation on the Transition Hub. And we have 3 presenters. We have the LEAP Connect program, 4 to 24, and the College Success program that are going to share in the next 30 minutes. So I welcome Hannah Peach. Are you with us?
Yep, I'm here.
Good afternoon and welcome. Go ahead and share with us what's going on with your program, LEAP Connect.
All right, I just share my screen. Great. Oops. 1 second, technology.
No worries.
All right, here we go. So my name is Hannah Peach. I am the virtual program coordinator / virtual developer for the LEAP program, Learn, Earn, and Prosper, out of Burlington, Vermont. And so LEAP is a program, a nonprofit out of Resource, which is another local nonprofit, which provides blind and visually impaired youth the opportunity to gain the skills needed to become independent, confident, and productive, with their outcome being increased employability. And we accomplish this through seasonal virtual programs, as well as an intensive summer residential program and seasonal weekend retreats throughout the year. On my screen right now, I just have a screenshot of one of our Zoom sessions from this spring with all of our work-based learning cohort for the last season. So a little bit of background on myself and the program. I was connected with LEAP initially when I was 13 or 14 through my own Division for the Blind, Vermont Division for the Blind counselor. I, at the time, wasn't really ready to dive into residential programming and meeting new people, doing these new things that I wasn't really comfortable with. But I was reconnected with LEAP after graduating college and onboarded as an AmeriCorps member in 2020, at which point, of course, COVID hit, and I found myself working with the LEAP team to transition all of our programming over to the virtual setting, which was a brand new experience for everyone. On the picture I have on my screen right now is from our very first Zoom session on April 3rd, 2020. It's very blurry. There's a lot of us on camera trying to figure out what we're doing. But it was really wonderful during that time of isolation to be able to connect with all of these individuals virtually. And from there, we just blossomed into our virtual programs. And it's been wonderful for me as an individual who can understand some of the experiences that these youth were going through to see them develop these bonds, even in an online space. I think personally, on a very personal note, virtual programming would have been very beneficial to me if I had had it while I was growing up with a visual impairment. And it's something that like I said, I'm able to connect with our students about. It gives me kind of a unique perspective on where they're coming from when they enter our programming. For example, we had a young individual, and she's in this picture here along with 2 other students. They are working on a solar panel outside at one of our local cafes. This was over the summer. And when I first met this individual, they were so reserved. They only communicated through the chat. They were nervous about turning their camera on. I had never even seen them until eventually we pushed them to work on their confidence and get their camera on. But the more that we connected with this individual and helped them develop their confidence in themselves and in their abilities, and as they were able to connect with other youth who had similar experiences to them, they gained so much confidence, and they began showing up to meetings really excited to share about their new assistive technology or share a story from their day. And they would be advocating for their needs. They, in our most recent program, they began to speak up first in conversation. We've been able to hear them get louder and louder every time we talk. And she's been taking on more leadership opportunities every time, as well as that. This summer, they independently reached out to their local library and advocated for an internship opportunity there. So they will be interning at their local library this summer, which is a very exciting opportunity for them. And a little bit about what we have going on this summer. So we have a summer virtual programming running from June 20th through July 22nd this year. Our work-based learning program is, we have 2 different programs as well as a couple of internship options with outside contractors, and students are paid minimum wage to complete an outcome-based project alongside their peers. So this is really an example of our offerings. They change depending on student feedback and the season and where we are in our programs. So for example, this summer we have an Instagram content creator work session in which students will be working together to develop stories and interview each other, and then create a video to post on LEAP's Instagram page. And this will be in partnership with Becky Holt, who is from the Vermont Story Lab, as well as the Vermont Media Factory, which is a local media production organization. As well as that, we have a coding/game development program, which will be in partnership with Amanda Rada, who is a certified TVI and computer science educator from the Washington School for the Blind. And she'll be leading students to work in small groups to create an accessible game using the coding language Quorum. And the goal is for this game to support future LEAP students learning about the program. So we also have these 2 additional internships, a social media intern with a local organization, the Vermont Center for Independent Living, and a outreach coordinator intern with a young woman we've been connected with for a long time. She used to be a LEAP participant herself, who is now running her own small business in career counseling and is looking for interns to help with outreach to new candidates for career counseling. And I have another picture on my screen of one of our work sessions when we were doing a course on interviewing. You can see some students taking notes. And it's always a very productive summer.
Sounds exciting.
So, yeah. So as well as that, we have some unpaid virtual workshops going on. And these, again, we develop based on student feedback. So they, just like the work-based learning, are running from June 20th through July 22nd. And they are based on educating with soft skills. So we have a wide variety, and I aim to have them include self-advocacy, work readiness skills, and independent living skills. So just a few of what we're offering this summer involve independent living workshops with a CBRT, virtual mobility sessions with a comms. And as I'm sure you know, it's very difficult to do O&M over Zoom. So those really focus on self-advocacy and like types of apps you can use. We will also have some social hours where students can just network and get to know each other. We have what we call speaker retreats, where we have professional speakers come and just share their experiences with all the students. In the past, we've had speakers including the YouTuber Molly Burke, the founders of the Two Blind Brothers clothing company, Bradford and Brian Manning, and many others. We have a lot of great contacts, and we're searching for more always. And then we also have a 4-week culinary camp, which just is supported by a VRT and focuses on very simple kitchen skills, very simple recipes, just getting, your basic understanding of kitchen. So that's our skill shops. That's all our programming this summer that's going on virtually. And again, that's just a small handful. We've got even more than that. And then this, we just have a quick student testimony from a reporting intern we worked with. We always love hearing from our students. Their words can make all the difference in how we continue to run our programming. So the student stated, "I loved the people working for and with LEAP. When I started my work experience, I was really concerned about talking to people. I was a shy and quiet person, but I soon realized that everyone was super nice and understanding. So I became much more comfortable talking to people. My confidence shot upward." And yeah, so that's pretty much our program. And I'm right at the 10-minute mark. So thank you.
Awesome. Did you list how people can get involved, or can you put in the chat your information?
Yes, I can put my information in the chat.
All right, Hannah, a great presentation. Thanks so much. If people have questions for you, put them in the chat and we can talk more about that at top of the hour. I want to move right over to Carla Antonelli with Mississippi State and the 4 to 24 app, which I love. I've got it here on my phone, Carla.
Awesome.
Take it away.
Great. Thank you so much, Richard. And thanks, everybody. It's good to be here. Really quickly, I wanted to let you know, I'm Carla Antonelli, and I'm at the National Research and Training Center on Blindness and Low Vision. We're a little research center at Mississippi State University, and our entire sort of mandate and mission here is that we work on doing research and training that will help to improve employment outcomes for people with blindness or low vision. And we have a lot of different projects to that end. This is one of those. We created this app called 4 to 24. And so that's what I wanted to tell you about today. So 4 to 24, as we mentioned, is an app that you can have on your phone, as Richard does. Thanks, Richard. That primarily it's an information resource. So the basic, the basic premise or the basic purpose of the app is to provide information, specifically directly to parents and young people, parents of youth with blindness or low vision, or the, thank you, Sylvia, hi, in the chat. Yes, so providing information to families to empower them and to give them the information that they need as their young person is growing up. So it's not so much that it's an app, but it's more about how the information, the app is how this information is being delivered out to families. So the reason we wanted to to create this app was we know that it's very important how parents, what their expectations are as their young person, as their child is growing up. That can have a huge effect on their employment as an adult. And just putting kind of the information and everything into their hands, making them empowered and informed as their young person is growing up and over the years can make a big difference. So we know there are a lot of resources out there that are created for professionals who are working with families, and we wanted something that goes directly to the family themselves. So this is information that sort of sprang from a checklist that we offered for a long time through the NRTC that was about helping young people with blindness or low vision, making sure they were getting ready for college. So it's like a checklist of things to check off during kind of the middle school and high school years to make sure they had everything that they needed to be able to go to college. we took that idea and expanded it a great deal. And we still consider this sort of a transition app because it's all about, transitioning over time and being ready for this next big step they're going to take. But we actually call it 4 to 24 because we're spanning those ages. It starts at age 4 to start getting children and young people prepared and start building these skills that we know that they're going to need in order to have a successful academic career as they're growing up, and successful, just learning all the skills of life basically that they're going to need, and all the way into through any kind of college or training that they're going to do, and all the way into hopefully their early career years. So that's the kind of the idea and the premise behind it. We wanted to put it in an app just so that it could be interactive and it could get directly to the parents. Like it's interactive and comes straight to you as the user. Additionally, it allows us to make sure that this resource is available nationwide, so anybody in the country can use this app. It is a free resource as well, so anybody can go in and download that to create an account. Okay, so again, we're calling it a transition resource, but we're also looking at, let's start as early as 4 is as early as we could manage to go, but we wanted to start at that age and even younger to try to build these skills up over time. So what is in the app? What do we provide? Well, we have 2 different versions of the app content. They kind of work a lot of this the same way, but we have 2 different versions. And when you go in and you create an account, you're going to select some information that's going to lead you down one trail or the other. And one version of the app, the content, is that it's focused on children and youth who are blind or have low vision. And that goes directly to their parents when they're at the very young end. And then as they get older, that information continues to go to the parents, but we also have a separate version that branches off at once the child becomes age 16, that they can get the content coming directly to them as well. So that sort of empowers them to kind of be responsible and be involved and engaged in this, all of these skill building things as well. So for that version of the content, it focuses again on building this kind of independence over time. And it helps prepare that young person hopefully for successful employment eventually, and independent living as well as an adult. So the information that's in there, we're calling them individual pieces that are called modules. And these come around once or twice a month, depending on how quickly you move through the information. It's kind of self-paced, but there's enough over that time that you would get about a couple of them a month on several different topic areas. And it covers things like social skills, literacy, technology, academics, daily living skills, those kinds of things. So that's one version. And I can tell you, I'll give you a little bit more of an example of kind of what kind of topics are in there and how those work. But quickly, I wanted to let you know the other version is for youth who are deaf blind. And for this one, that's geared directly to the parents, because it's also for youth who are deaf blind and also may have these additional disabilities. So on this information, it focuses more on building skills and independence over time as well, but it has particular attention to topics like developing a communication system and creating a profile of that young person's abilities and preferences. In order to share that with the support network. And within the activities themselves, they're made to be flexible for different ability levels within that particular module. So the modules themselves are it's kind of like a mini article that you get, and it'll again cover a specific amount of time. So it would, or not of time, a specific topic area. And I wanted to just give you a couple of examples of kind of how this looks. So one is, these are both the examples that I have are both on the pretty young end of the spectrum, but one of them, for instance, is about like how to prepare and cook simple meals. So this one the topic is called Live. Because it's in the independent living kind of topic area, prepare and cook simple meals. And each module opens up with just an overview of this is kind of what it's about, like a summary. And this is what this one reads. So it's a fundamental part of every adult's life is knowing how to cook. Whether we prepare simple foods such as sandwiches or more complicated meals, we still need to know how to get around in the kitchen. The same is true for your son or daughter. The earlier he or she can learn to make simple meals independently, the more familiar and comfortable they'll become in your kitchen over time. By giving your son or daughter this early exposure, you'll help him or her develop skills and concepts that he'll need to become more independent in the kitchen, begin preparing his or her own simple meals, and cook and prepare meals independently. So it gives us a little synopsis of what we're talking about and why it's important. And then each module goes on, they'll have a more in-depth information about this is why this is important for a young person, and sort of gives them more background, and in some cases research that backs up what we're talking about. Then we have a list of several different activities that the family can do. You can do them, they can do together with their young person. They can collaborate with teachers or other service providers or instructors. One of them on this one is consult with your son or daughter's TSVI about instruction and meal preparation or adaptive techniques that might be being taught at school, so you can reinforce them at home. Another one is have your son or daughter select and apply tactile markings to appliances and drawers in the kitchen, so they'll be able to find things on their own. And then we have a list of resources in each module that also just links out to other resources, other websites, videos, articles, things that are about and around this particular topic. This one links to an article on teaching your kids how to cook by age, what's appropriate at each different age. Another one is links out to Perkins Scout and some information they have about how people who are blind or visually impaired cook and the adaptive techniques that they may use. And then there's a link like to Maxi Aids where you could buy those products and things like that. So all of these things, and by the way, we do link out to APH CareerConnect a ton and lots of other places. So all of the faces and names that I'm seeing, like we were very much, you're in the app, man. So it's a small world, right? But yes, this is the kind of thing that's in the app for each of these different topic areas. It covers a ton of different information. And I just wanted to kind of give you a snippet of what that's about. I'm going to drop some links and my email into the chat as we wrap up. But I'm going to give you the link to our website for the NRTC. We have a ton of resources. Please go and check that out. I'll also give you a link directly to where our app is linked on our website and how you can get to that. And then, as I mentioned, my own email. And then very quickly, last but not least, I want to mention to you that if you are a professional and you're working with families and you're interested in finding out more about the app, we do have just recently have opened up a sort of a portal on our website where you can sign up as a professional if you'd like to just get a look at the content itself without it having to be, you don't have to go in and create an account so that you can see everything. You can, you'll fill out some information and we'll provide you access as a professional so that you can go in and just see what the content actually is. So you'll know, especially hopefully, you might refer to give this information and links out to parents that will be able to use it. And you can also check it out for yourself to make sure if it's something that you feel like is something you would like to recommend for them to use. And I'm happy to answer questions at the end of our panel here, as Richard said. So thanks, Richard.
Carla, thanks so much. Brilliant stuff. I followed you early on when you were just planning this a couple of years back. So I'm real proud of this, and thank you for all the work and labor of love you put into this. In about 10 minutes, we're going to open it up to all of you program people out there in the trenches, as I like to call, running transition and residential programs, camps, and so on. So stay with us, and we're going to share your chance. But right now, let's go with the Katie Tashio and the College Success Program over at Envision. Katie, good afternoon and welcome.
Hi, Richard. Thank you so much. This is a wonderful opportunity we have here. I'm hearing some really great things, but I'm excited to share, about the College Success Program. So I'll just dive right in. My name is Katie Otaggio. I am the Engagement Operations Manager with Envision's College Success Program. So the College Success Program is a program that is specifically for students who are blind or low vision and are going into college or are already in college. That can also be graduate school, postgraduate school. And it's a all virtual resource that provides the supports that students would need to help them go through college and then go on to employment. So to just kind of back up a little bit and talk about the history of the program quickly, the program was developed based on research that was done. We had received funding from the Lavelle Fund for the Blind to do some research into the experience of college students. And from that research, we discovered three main things. Students need to arrive at school prepared to direct their own learning. Students are at risk of becoming socially separated from their peers and isolated in the classroom, which of course diminishes the quality of their educational experience. And students need to embrace technology as having a critical role in their success, both in learning and also in keeping up with their sighted peers. So that research was the basis that the College Success Program was formed on. So like I mentioned before, it's an all virtual program. Our website, I can put it in the chat later, but it's collegesuccessbvi.org. And going there, you'll be able to find all the different resources that we offer and that we provide. We have online resources that are blog, article type of things. We offer a community. We've developed an online community where students can connect and engage on all things, academic, professional, social topics, things that are relevant to them. The program does provide access to audiobooks. So some of you may be familiar with the College Success Program because we were once a part of Learning Ally. Recently, back in October, we were acquired by Envision. And that partnership was really so mutually beneficial to all parties involved. Envision, if you're not aware, is an organization based out of Wichita. We also have an office in Dallas. And it is sole purpose is to provide employment and outreach and rehabilitation, all of that stuff to people who are blind or low vision. Envision in Dallas and in Wichita have very large manufacturing facilities that are all staffed by people who are blind or low vision. Envision also has these programs that even go all the way down to early childhood education, all the way up. So they had all these programs. But what they didn't have was anything for the college age students. So that's where the College Success Program came in. We were acquired by Envision and we just really kind of fit right in. Envision is able to support blind and low vision individuals now through all ages. And what's great too about Envision is their focus on jobs, getting jobs both within Envision and also partnering with organizations who are looking to expand their workforce with people who are blind or low vision. So also, in addition to the things I mentioned, we also have twice weekly meetups, which are opportunities for students to call in. And these are run by our CSP mentors, which I'll talk about in a little bit more deeply. But it's a chance for students to call in and chat again about whatever it is that they want to chat about at that moment. It could be like Carla was talking about, cooking. It's a big topic for us, for our students too. It could be talking about cooking. It could be talking about the weather. It could be talking about the technology that they were using in their biology class, all of that kind of stuff, kind of an anything goes type of experience. I mentioned Learning Ally. We have access to the audiobooks. Part of the membership is access to the Learning Ally audiobook catalog. We also provide monthly webinars, which range in various topics. We bring on a variety of expert panelists. We most recently had Richard on one of our webinars talking about networking. We also have a podcast, College Knowledge Podcast, and we provide summer workshops. That's kind of one of the big things I've been working on recently is gearing up for those. These are really popular among our students. It's an opportunity for them to engage in things that are not quite academic, but they have the ability to connect with other people that are interested in that. We offer workshops on things like book club, virtual choir, creative writing. This year we have a new one. We're doing a music club. We have cooking, we have wellness, we have a bunch of different things. So all of that is available to our students, and those all kind of fit in with the various topics that we cover, which include everything from career exploration to living on your own, safety and empowerment, partnering with your disabilities office, preparing for college, communicating with professors, all of those types of things. So the program is offered at no cost to students. And so students can go and register on our website, and that would then give them access to all the elements of the program. And the one thing that I wanted to kind of dig a little deeply into more is our mentorship. That is kind of the bread and butter of the program. We have 21 mentors who are both, or who are also blind or low vision themselves. They are somewhat recent college graduates, and they work for the program. They have full-time jobs, but they work for us kind of on the side, and they provide mentorship to students who, you know, would like that extra level of support. It's not a requirement of the program, but we do find that the students who connect with a CSP mentor do tend to have a bit more of that success. They have that additional, you know, person to bounce things off of. They're able to work with someone and not, you know, reinvent the college wheel. When students want a mentor, they connect with us, they submit a request form, and then we spend some significant time, you know, talking with them and learning about them, what their visual impairment is, what technology they use, what they're interested in, and then we match them with one of our mentors. We match them with people who are using the same technology, who are within the same field of study, you know, all different things. There's a lot that goes into that. And it really has been that extra level. Like I mentioned, it's the extra level of support that students just kind of need to get them over, you know, that little bit of a hump to keep going. We find a lot of students come to us asking for mentors, or people who aren't quite yet students. They're looking for that support to help get into college, or to help decide what to do, or, you know, to help evaluate what their options are. So those mentors, they're absolutely fantastic. They blow my mind with the stuff that they've accomplished themselves. And, you know, they're able to take those experiences and knowledge and share that, you know, with people. So that mentorship is really, like I said, that's that bread and butter. So I will put in the chat our website and also my email address and the general. And, you know, you can feel free to reach out to us. It's myself. Also, Mary Alexander is our national director. She's often at many conferences.
Yes.
At times, but yeah, so Envision's College Success Program, you know, here for students and helping, you know, with mentoring.
Katie, thanks so much. Can you address Shannon McVoy's question in the chat about cost of VR agencies? To my knowledge, there's no cost, right?
So
is there?
Students, there is no cost to students. So we do try to work with states and develop contracts with states. It's really dependent on how many students the state is looking to enroll in the program, and those types of things. So it's kind of we'd have to work with a state to give a specific number around that. That's
good to know. And again, I'm really love what you're doing and support it any way I can. So thank you for being with us today. And all right, let's go to the phones. I sound like a radio host. Let's go to the audience and see who would like to share out. I know Leslie Thatcher had her hand raised up for quite a while. Katie Frederick, and I don't know if we want to start with her, if you had a different list there with the Perkins program. And we had, I'm asking folks to try to keep it under 3 minutes if possible, and we'll go there. Katie Frederick, are you with me?
Yep, Leslie Thatcher, you should be able to talk.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you so much, Rich. I'm unmuted now. This is Leslie Thatcher, and let's see if I can turn on. Yeah, I don't know that I can turn on my video, but I'm the director of a different college success at Perkins, and our direct service program called Compass, which some of you may have heard about. It's a 9-month virtual program for students, a grade 9 through 12. It's 100% virtual. We work to include students' families and their educators in what we call a learning triad, to help students prepare to consider their post-secondary planning with additional information that they may not be able to glean from their school environment or home environment. We describe it as an enrichment program. We have students currently participating, 11 this year. The program starts in September, it ends in late May. We have students participating with support from their states, from Virginia, Arizona, Minnesota, Massachusetts, to name just a few. It's a very highly impactful coaching model, which works with trained Compass coaches that are a combination of TVIs, executive functioning coaches. I'm a college counselor in another piece of my world. And we bring that knowledge to students, their families, and educators to help them develop action plans to identify and make a plan to gain the skills they need in coordination with their VR counselors to achieve their post-secondary goals. So it's leveraging all the great work that we've heard described in the Envision College Success Program and the LEAP program, leveraging the amazing world of virtual life that we're all living, and taking research-based, research-driven programming, such as coaching, to really help move students forward in their own self-awareness and their readiness for college. To just give you a quick, I had my testimonials up. I've got a couple quotes for you to help you understand the impact this program does have on students and families. Where did my testimonials go? The best laid plans. Rich is gonna pull me here in just a second. I will put a quote in the conversation.
There you go.
I will put links in the chat for Compass. I'll also give a pitch out for anyone for our College Readiness Resource Center, which is a resource center full to the brim of articles written for students, families, and educators about that transition, about the shift in expectations, really unpacking the difference from a high school experience to a college or work environment, really, and providing rich resources behind those as well. So that is it. Thank you for your time. Thanks for running these conversations. They are just terrific.
Thanks, Leslie. We appreciate you and all that you're doing. Katie, who is next?
Yeah, and just really quick, while we let the next person go, when you do put things in chat, the default in Zoom is to only send to panelists, but do change that to everyone so that we can all share your resources. I know it's hard, it's annoying, but that's how it is. So just again, if you're putting things in chat, just remember to change that to everyone so that we can all see that. All right, we have, let's see, Amy.
And I know Sylvia put in the chat she wants to speak, so we'll get you down the line too, Sylvia.
All right, you're unmuted, Amy.
Yep. So hi, I'm Amy Jin. I am representing Vista Center for the Blind. We're located in San Jose, Palo Alto, and Santa Cruz. I run a transition program called Youth of Tomorrow for students 14 to 24, and we're doing hybrid instruction. So I'll do a meeting with somebody in the field, like who is blind, and they talk about their career path, and then I'll do a workshop based on whatever subject. I'm currently working on trying to get a cooking class going because I know a lot of students have been interested in that. So I'm working on doing a grocery store tour and learn about different careers at a grocery store. So working on in-person programming as well as keeping with the virtual to get more students from other parts of the state. And we have a summer tech program that is we're looking for students in the Santa Cruz area specifically. So if you have any students, that's running from June 27th to July 1st. And the students, once they're finished with the 5 days, they will get an iPad and some other tech accessories, but they have to be committed to all 5 days. So if you know of any students in the area, please let me know. I will be running that with our accessibility team. And it's a lot of fun. And we've done it for about 4 or 5 years. We will take some students in our area as well, but we're hoping to do Santa Cruz mostly because that's what our funding is covering. So if you know of any students in Santa Cruz, Monterey, San Benito County, please let me know. And I'll go ahead and put information about our program in the chat as well.
And who wouldn't want to be in Santa Cruz in the summer, right? When it's nice and cool.
Yeah,
Right?
it's a lot of fun. And
It sounds like it.
we have a bunch of people who are going to come speak from different tech companies. And yeah.
Well, thank you, Amy. It's always a pleasure to have you on these conversations. And best of luck this summer.
Thanks.
Do we want to
Right.
get Sylvia? Go ahead.
Yes, let me. So Sylvia, you should have a thing on your screen to unmute.
There you go. That
Yes,
works.
there you go.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Sylvia Perez. I'm with AFB. I actually used to be with the NRTC. So, hey, Carla. And I am really privileged to work with our Blind Leaders Program, which is a program for adults who are in their mid-level career. But it's an interesting thing that I have learned and I wanted to share with all of you. And I've been working with youth, and I am blind myself, but been working with youth for my whole long career. And I have really learned a really great lesson here with the Blind Leaders Program. The most important thing that you can help the youth that you're working with develop is confidence.
Yes.
We all can probably admit that there are those of us who will make it no matter what. There are probably a lot of us who are on this call who are blind. We'll make it no matter what. It's that next level of students who don't really have that maybe that little drive or that support at home or whatever it is, to really put themselves out there and push themselves to that next level. So if I can encourage you to do anything, it's create opportunities that push the youth out of their comfort zones where they can develop that confidence, because it will make all the difference. So one of the things that we started at AFB for our Blind Leaders Program was something I call Spotlight on Success. And I've lined up several of these. Richard was on, well, no, Richard, were you on one of mine?
The networking and traveling talk. Yes.
Yes. Okay. I was thinking so. So a really cool thing about these is I have been able to get our guests to speak really authentically. And so a lot of times, you know, on podcasts, webinars, etc., people will really just kind of give you the high level, the you can do it, rah, rah, rah. I've been able to really find a way to get people to speak really authentically. And a lot of people have come back to me and said, can you please make this happen for others? We want this for our youth. We want this for our people who are looking for jobs, not just for the Blind Leaders Program. So I am committing that this summer I will do 2 of those and open them up, and I'll share that out. I don't know, Richard, if we can work together to promote it, etc.
Yes.
But I will get some really great, I've had some really awesome people in some great careers, but who were really authentic in sharing how challenging that was. But I saw what the impact on people hearing that was. And so I'm going to commit to doing that for our transition youth across the country. this summer. So I will be in touch, or be in touch with me, so you can be a part of that and have your youth be a part of that.
Sylvia, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you for your enthusiasm, and I look forward to hearing more from you about your Blind Leaders Program.
Okay.
All right. Are there any other hands raised, Katie?
I do not see.
Oh, there's
Yes.
Shannon.
So Shannon, you should be able to unmute.
Hi there, this is Shannon McVoy from BSBP in Michigan. I just wanted to just to share a couple of the summer programs we're doing. We do a college, we don't call it college success, but we call it college prep at Western Michigan University. And tomorrow we're actually doing a program at the Great Wilkes Lodge that I'm super excited about. We have about 30 families coming with their students, and we're going to be learning all about hospitality, the hospitality industry. And then we have Sean Roy coming to work with the students and the families on how they can partner together to make sure that they're providing that level of support at home for their students to be successful. So that's a program we've run in the past, but we never included families until this year. And so have been really excited about the response we've gotten from families to attend this event. We also do a No Barriers program. We're looking at a summer challenge this year, which is based on Eric Weinmeyer's self-advocacy curriculum. He didn't call it that, but that's what I call it, because that No Barriers, I think it's No Barriers. There's a REACH program, and it's very affordable. There's a version that's free to educators that you can download from the Touch the Top website that they have, but it's all based on his climb to Mount Everest. So we're really excited about that. I could talk for an hour about all of our different programs. We're running a Lennox program similar to what they've been doing in Virginia, and also a STEM camp, which is based around 3D print technology and astronomy concepts on how students can learn better in the classroom utilizing 3D printing. So I'll be done.
Thanks, Shannon. Well, I look forward to hearing more about the hospitality. That's really, really cool. So have fun with that.
Oh, we will. I'm all ready to go.
All right.
In the morning.
Thank you again. All right. I think Mark Lucas had his hand up.
Yes. All right, Mark, you should be able to unmute.
Hey, everybody. Mark Lucas here. I am the camp director of Camp Bloomfield, operated by Wayfinder Family Services. And in about 3.5 weeks, we are going to have fun in the sun in Southern California, the only camp in SoCal that is free to campers who are blind and visually impaired of all ages and all abilities. We'll do a teen session and an elementary session, kids 7 through 17 years old, June 18th through 22nd. And that particular camp is important for you all because I will be bringing in 12 counselors in training, kids who are blind and VI, to work under the tutelage of a camp counselor or an activity leader. And this is training that takes place at camp through journaling and discussion and observation, and they get to supervise kids and work on their work ethic and their leadership skills and their independence. And so super excited about it. The registration to be a CIT is on Wayfinder Family Services website. I put it in the link in the chat, and interested candidates 15 through 17 years of age should go and register as a camper. CITs do not get paid, but they have their room and board provided along with an incredible experience. So just so excited to be back to Camp Bloomfield because I operated it in 1985 to 1993. And we hadn't had a camp program Wayfinder since 2018 because the camp burnt down. And then COVID got in the way. So if you have anyone interested, that's ages 15 through 17 that want to hone in on their leadership skills, have them give us a contact or me a contact or get on Wayfinder's website.
Hey, Mark, just to clarify, if there's a student up in Michigan where, Shannon McVoy's at, they can come to camp. They don't have to be in Southern California?
No, they don't have to be in Southern California. They have to be independent enough to want to hop on a plane, and we'll pick them up at the airport, but we'll take kids 15 through 17 from all over the United States. Great.
Brilliant.
Question.
Thank you, sir. All right. All right, folks, looking for any more hands. We won't go to the end of the hour unless there's enough questions to drive that, but this is the time, our national transition conversation, for you to give updates. And I think Julie's got her hand up unless there was someone else there before her.
No, so Julie, you should be able to unmute.
Okay, thank
There
you.
you go.
So this is my first time on the call. Thank you for having me on the call. So yeah, I'll go after Mark. That kind of makes sense. We work from the same agency. So this summer we are doing a transition program. We're calling it WRAP, which is a Workforce Readiness Academic Preparation Program. This is going to be taking place on the Cal State LA campus. So students are going to be experiencing real dorm life. We are accepting participants ages 16 through 25. And it's a 6-week program. And we're going to be guiding people through practical steps and showing them how to apply for jobs, matching their skill set with their interests. The students are going to have a whole entire floor of the housing dorm, which is kind of cool, where they're going to have their own bathrooms and shower facilities. We're going to be having access to their classrooms and community rooms. We're going to be providing cooking lessons. So we'll definitely tie in the ILS with it, as well as, employment and, applying for jobs and all that good stuff. So we're really excited to partner with Cal State LA. We have some of their interns that are going to be working with us this summer. So that's always a bonus to have teachers working with us that are, looking to get into the field. And then I also wanted to point out that we have the Hatland Center for the Blind, which is in California. I do have some contracts with Massachusetts right now, and I want to say Wisconsin. So we do have some contracts for out-of-state people to come into Hatland. They just have to have a voc rehab counselor, and they have to have an employment goal for their IPE. But that program is a year-long program. It's living in apartments in Northern California. We teach real life experience. So we're teaching them how to pay rent, how to split bills with roommates, how to deal with conflict resolution with roommates. The one major difference between the Hatland Center and all the other programs in California is that at the Hatland Center, it's all one-on-one instruction. So your ILS, your IT, everything, that's all one-on-one. So it's geared for that person on an individual basis. So we are accepting applications for that right now, and I can put that website in the link. And then I also run the Davidson program in LA, and that is more of like a dorm-like setting. But we definitely, cover ILS, Braille, technology, and O&M. That's more of a group-like setting. And like I said, they're living in a dorm setting, but we definitely, include the ILS, the cooking and the cleaning. So they're getting a little bit of everything for that program too. So we're accepting applications for that too. And I will also put that in the website or in the chat room.
Julie, thank you so much. And this reminds me to ask you and let everyone else know that one of the things we do at CareerConnect are presentations. So if you want us to come out and talk to your students this summer during one of your programs, we can do that. Often we do that on Zoom, but we're starting to get out there in person. So if you need a guest speaker, if you want me to come and talk about CareerConnect and or talk about being a successful blind guy who's traveling with his guide dog, who's can talk about anything job related, how to get a job, disclosure, all the things you need to be successful. Like Sylvia said, confidence, how to work in your confidence. I can do that. We can do that. That's one of the things we do with CareerConnect and outreach. So if you need an hour filled or you want us to come out and do a presentation, we're there. So think about that as you plan your summer programs. And I'd love to go to Cal State LA, Julie, because that's my alma mater. So,
And you know, I would love to have you.
so just send me some dates. We've got the summers pretty booked up between the conferences, but we'll be there. We'll make it work. And, you know, my folks are in LA. So are there any other hands?
There are not.
All right. Anything from our panelists or presenters earlier? Any last minute words? We'll wrap it up in the next 5 minutes. If not, I want to thank each and every one of you for participating in the National Transition Conversation. This will be archived and up probably within 2 weeks, and share it with your audiences. Good information. We'll try to do this occasionally, at least once a year, where we're giving updates, and then other national transition conversations will focus on different aspects of the employment and rehabilitation process. Shannon McVoy has done one on the nuts and bolts of pre-ETS. We've had several other discussions on the virtual work experience that Sue Glazer down in Florida did for us. So we're trying to keep this national transition conversation for you, our practitioners, teachers, rehab folks, and people supporting the confidence building of our young people to get them into the workforce. So we want this space to be yours. So if you have ideas, please send them our way. Again, I want to thank everyone for attending. I hope to see many of you throughout the year at conferences and or on Zoom. We are here. We are a resource, whether it's Vision Aware, Family Connect, or Career Connect. Look to us to provide you the things you need to make your program successful. Thank you, Katie, Frederick. Thank you, our captionists. Thank you, panelists.